Hey everyone! Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more stories like this. My name's Graham Whitlock, and I'm 49. Just a month ago, I found myself sitting across from my soon-to-be ex-wife in a quiet mediation office that smelled faintly of lemon polish and old paper. The ticking of the wall clock was louder than anyone's voice in the room. Her name is Sophie. She's 46, graceful, articulate, and completely convinced she's never wrong. We've been married 24 years, long enough to build a life, raise 2 kids, and grow apart in the same house we once believed would be our forever home. That morning, Sophie said something I'll never forget. "I deserve the house," she told the mediator, her voice quivering just enough to seem genuine. "I made it a home." Her lawyer nodded, precise, like a conductor cueing a violin solo. Sophie dabbed her eyes with a soft tissue, the kind that held together instead of falling apart. She'd rehearsed this like a stage performance, and she was the tragic heroine. The mediator, Miriam, turned to me. "Mr. Whitlock, do you have a response?" I looked at Sophie, the same woman who once cried tears of joy when we brought our newborn son home, the same woman now staring at me like a stranger trespassing in her life story. And I said simply, "She's right. Give her the house." Her lawyer blinked, suspicious. Sophie froze mid-sniffle, trying to figure out if I was bluffing. "You're serious?" Miriam asked. I nodded. She made it a home. She should keep it. Just like that, the tension in the room evaporated. Sophie's whole demeanor shifted. Her shoulders lifted, her expression softened. Victory suited her. I signed the papers. She got the house. I kept my retirement accounts. On paper, it was a clean break. What Sophie didn't realize and never bothered to notice was that the house she claimed as hers was rotting from the inside out. The foundation had been shifting for years. The garage wall bowed like a warped mirror. Doors wouldn't close, tiles cracked under pressure, and the earth beneath it all was slowly giving way. 3 contractors had estimated repairs at $145,000 to $170,000. I had planned to fix it once finances stabilized. Then Sophie met Ryan, her new personal fitness coach, who, surprise, spent more time in her kitchen than in the gym. She told me she felt unfulfilled. I told her I felt betrayed. She called that dramatic. So I handed over the house as is. No inspection. No reading the fine print on page 17 of the settlement, which clearly stated, "Property transferred in existing condition with all defects, known or unknown." She wanted freedom. I wanted peace. 2 weeks later, I was in a small apartment overlooking the harbor, eating dinner out of a paper carton, while Sophie flooded social media with her fresh start. Photos of freshly painted living rooms, posts about wine nights with friends, captions like, "New beginnings are worth every ending." Her sister Carla commented under one photo, "So proud of you, sis. You finally got what you deserve." I almost laughed. She did get what she deserved, just not in the way she imagined. Then the messages started. 1, 2, then 20 in a row. "Graham, what did you do to the house?" The garage floor split in 2. "The contractor says the foundation is collapsing. This can't be real. You knew. This is fraud. Please call me. The house is sinking." I stare at my phone, wine glass in hand, and for the first time in ages, I smiled. I didn't respond. Next, her lawyer called, frustration sharp in his voice. "Graham, we need to discuss the structural issues with the property." "What issues?" I asked calmly. "You know what I mean. The house is failing." "Oh, you mean the one she fought for? The one she said she made into a home?" Silence. "It's all in the agreement," I continued. "As is. Page 17. Signed by both parties." He exhaled. "You really are something, Whitlock. Just a man honoring a contract." I said. Sophie tried everything after that. First, guilt. Her mother, Elaine, called crying. She made a mistake. "Graham, she doesn't deserve this." I told her. She made mistakes. One was not listening. Then sympathy. Sophie showed up at my apartment with offers to sell the house if I helped cover half the repairs. "We could split the profit," she pleaded. I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. "Sophie, I said softly. Why would I invest in a house that tried to bury me? Her lip trembled. You're punishing me. No, I said, I'm just not saving you. When Ryan found out about the $150,000 foundation problem, he vanished faster than winter sunlight. That night, Sophie called me, sobbing so hard I could barely understand her. He left me. He said he can't handle the stress. I have nothing left, Graham. Nothing. For a fleeting moment, I remember the woman I fell in love with, the one laughing in the kitchen late at night, dancing barefoot to old jazz records. Then I remember the night she lied about her yoga sessions. I said nothing. Months later, the house still stands, crooked, cracked, slowly sinking into the ground. Sophie took loans she couldn't afford, sold furniture she once bragged about choosing, and moved into a smaller room while contractors ripped apart her dream. And yet, whenever I drive by that street, by that sagging porch light and torn garden fence, I don't feel triumph. I feel closure. That house wasn't just falling apart. We were. We ignored the cracks, patched over the warnings, pretended everything was solid while the ground beneath us shifted. She made a home, but I kept the peace. And sometimes, peace is worth more than any house. Winter came quietly, draping the city in mist and silver rain. By then, it had been 4 months since I last spoke to Sophie. The divorce was final, the settlement settled, and my new life finally felt permanent. I had a small apartment by the water, nothing like the big house we once shared, but it was mine, simple, quiet, and honest. The emptiness of our old home was replaced with the soft hum of a coffee machine and the rhythmic pulse of the ocean outside my window. For the first time in years, I could breathe without worrying about what mood she'd be in when I walked through the door. Then one foggy evening, my phone lit up with her name. I let it ring through to voicemail. A minute later, a text arrived. Graham, I really need to talk, please. 2 more texts followed, then a photo. It was the front porch of our old house, half torn apart, scaffolding framing the broken doorway. It's worse than they thought. I don't know what to do. I stared at it, then set my phone face down. Not my house, not my problem. But Sophie didn't stop. Manipulation had always been her strength. No shouting, no threats, just heartbreak performed flawlessly. The following week, she appeared at my office. I spotted her through the glass wall first, before she saw me. Cream coat, hair and makeup intentionally undone to look effortless. She always knew how to make sorrow look beautiful. Graham, she said when I finally stepped into the lobby. You look good. I nodded, cautious. What do you need, Sophie? She exhaled like a fragile thing. Can we just talk? Not about the house. About us? There is no us, I said softly. But she looked up, eyes catching the light. Don't you miss it? The good parts. I almost laughed. The good parts were buried under too many lies to uncover. You made your choice, I said. Now you live with it. Her jaw tightened. So that's it? You're just going to let everything rot? The house, me everything. Everything you're talking about. I said, stop being mine a long time ago. 2 weeks later, she tried again, this time under the guise of business. There are some tax forms from property transfer, she said on the phone. Can you come by to sign them? I hesitated. Something in her tone felt off. But I agreed. When I arrived, the house looked worse than before. Cracks spread across the walls like veins under pale skin. Damp plaster filled the air. Sophie sat on the floor, surrounded by half-packed boxes. She'd lost weight, and the edges of her usual composure were fraying. I didn't call about forms, she admitted after a moment. I just wanted to see you. That's not fair, I said quietly. Nothing's fair anymore, she replied. I ruined everything. I know that. I just thought maybe we could start over. I glanced around the ruined house she once fought for, cracks snaking through the walls like scars. Start over where, Sophie? There's nothing left standing. Tears slid down her cheeks. I can change. You said that before. But you only change when you lose something. She reached for my hand. I stepped back. Graham, please, she whispered. I don't have anyone else. You had me, I said. You had everything. You just wanted more. Her silence carried more weight than anger. I signed the tax form she prepared, the real reason she came, and walked out. As I closed the door, the frame creaked, and a long, thin crack appeared above it. Somehow it felt symbolic. The house letting go at last. Spring arrived. The city bloomed again. Trees turned green. The air carried warmth and salt. For the first time, I started moving forward instead of looking back. I began running. I met people at the marina. I volunteered at a local charity, repairing old boats. There was something poetic about restoring what was broken, giving it purpose again. One afternoon, I met Eliza, the coordinator. Calm, grounded, quietly confident. Everything Sophie never was. She didn't fill silence with chatter. She let it breathe. Coffee after work, then dinners, then walks along the pier stretching into long conversations. For the first time, I wasn't performing. I wasn't being judged. I was just seen. Sophie made one last attempt to reach me. A long message, part apology, part plea. I'm sorry for everything. The house is gone. I sold it for barely enough to cover the loans. I'm moving in with my mother for now. I don't expect forgiveness, but I wish things had ended differently. I read it once, twice, then typed a single line. I hope you find peace, Sophie. That was the last I heard from her. Months later, as summer rolled in, I drove past our old street on my way to meet Eliza. The house was gone, just an empty lot behind a chain-link fence. Where it stood, sunlight fell on the earth like a quiet blessing. I watched the wind lift dust across the ground and realized something simple, yet profound. She lost her house trying to win. I lost my marriage trying to fix it. But in the end, we each got exactly what we built. And as I drove away, I didn't look back.